Good afternoon. My name is Arlena Wasu. I am a candidate for the Master of Public Administration degree here at North Carolina Central University. Today, I will be presenting my student learning portfolio titled Data Driven Evaluations Creating a Pracademic. Today, I'll give an introduction, a review of my student assessment, my demonstration of mastery, my professional development activities, and finally, my capstone project. Pracademic, an individual whose work as a practitioner draws heavily on academia or whose academic work is closely connected to the practitioner's world. This definition is taken from the Institute for Public Administration Canada. I believe that the future of public administration and public administration education will require a blend of academia and practice. I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to the field and to public service. My student assessment. I'll be reviewing my resume, my Myers-Briggs results, and my 360 feedback results. My professional history. I founded a small consulting firm in 2014, but prior to that, I was the assistant director for Grateful Patient Engagement at Duke Madison. I have a proven track record of securing philanthropic support and engaging donors. I am adept at developing and maintaining detailed and complex procedures with a focus on reducing redundancy, improving accuracy, and efficiency. I am highly focused and results oriented. I believe in my core that being a problem solver and being able to use critical thinking skills are key to success, and I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to demonstrate this in my previous work history. My Myers-Briggs results were type ENFJ, extrovert, intuition, feelings, and judging. I have to say I was a little surprised at the extrovert results because I consider myself at heart to be an introvert. The only way I can account for this is with my background in philanthropy and dealing with donors and the public. You have to either A, be an introvert, an extrovert, or B, be an introvert who gets really good at pretending to be an extrovert. And I'm pretty sure that accounts for these results. I am assertive. I have the ability to work alone or in groups, and I can be outgoing in select environments. For intuition, I believe in lifelong learning. I don't think that learning ever stops. I like to look at the big picture, and I think it's also important to consider a detailed plan. For feelings, I am committed to my values. I always display empathy, and I do believe in my values and that demonstrating loyalty is important. I think you can teach someone how to do almost anything, but there are a few character traits such as loyalty that you have to have. And for judging, I am a big believer in organization, careful planning and structure, and goal setting. For me, a path to success starts with a goal and a planned strategy for what success looks like and how you're going to get there. My 360 feedback results. The 360 feedback is a survey that we were required to send. My survey was sent to classmates and students I've worked on projects with in the past and over the course of this master's program. It was also sent to previous coworkers, a prior manager, two of my current contract employees, and some professional colleagues. As you can see, my results are the lighter green shade. The darker green shade are the results of all the other students. I was above the mean significantly in two areas, and I was below the student average in two areas. And near the end, I was almost completely off the charts, but I think that accounts to those questions were related to actual professional skills regarding budgeting and some of the more technical aspects of public administration. I know our programs do have pre-service students, so I think that those may be some outliers because I do have so much professional history in those areas where some students may not have had. that much experience. For my strengths, the two areas that I was above the mean were being aware of professional standards of conduct and knowing when to use a computer for analysis. I'm a big believer, as my title states, in data driven evaluations. I think that planning starts with having accurate data so that you can make a good decision. So that accounts for those results. For my weaknesses, the two areas were showing a win win state of mind and willingness to compromise, and coaching and reinforcing is necessary. I'm not sure what the cause for these results were. However, when I went back and looked at some of the individual results um, for these two questions, what I think I need to do to move forward to strengthen these areas is to make sure that I increase my communication skills. I think for perception can be reality, and for someone to believe that you are displaying a win win state of mind and your willingness to compromise, they have to know that you're compromising. So I think I need to make sure that in the future, when I am compromising, that I don't keep silent when I have an alternative point of view. If I'm willing to compromise, I think I need to be able to be assertive but not overbearing in stating an opposite opinion, but also displaying my willingness to compromise and to move in a different direction as needed. And the same goes for the coaching and reinforcing. I know that perception is reality, and I want to make sure that in my communication and my interaction with others, that what they're perceiving is what I intend for them to understand. I want to make sure that it's clear that while I am a leader, I can definitely be a team player, because I think that loyalty and being on a team is important to the organization's success and to mission achievement. The demonstration of mastery, the mastery case study. The mastery case study that I took was the Minnesota Public-Private Partnership for Health Assessment. We were required to examine the case and develop a report for the governor of a neighboring state regarding the feasibility of implementing a similar program. My report focused on agenda setting, leadership, critical analysis, and my recommendations. This case really demonstrated that need to look to others, in this case Minnesota, for valuable lessons learned while also considering the needs for the proposed state. The actors in regards to the public agenda were the governor, legislators, health agencies, the business community, and of course the people. In order to accomplish such a daunting task, in my professional opinion, I stated that leadership would be key in choosing which private partners to partner with, making wise choices, and ensuring that the win win was effectively communicated and that expectations were reasonable, achievable, measurable, and reported. This initiative required the implementation of complex legislation to ensure that the private sector would be investing and that the cost savings would be realized. My final recommendation was that implementing this policy would be the best course of action. I proposed using a task force to analyze relevant budget trends that would affect the fiscal stability of the state, along with developing a specific list of legislative actions that could gain bipartisan support, and the requirement that private partners provide a minimum of 10% of funding. These partners would also need to be fully vetted in advance to rule out any ethical issues that would disqualify them for participation. The overall goal was to have a visionary leader with the skills to move all stakeholders toward the shared goal of increasing health and decreasing costs, while also increasing transparency and gaining the public buy-in. I also included a draft implementation plan with a timeline for planning, implementing, evaluating, and public reporting. Professional development. I had the honor of serving as a 2015 ASPA Founders Forum Fellow, the American Society of Public Administration, and also a NASPA student simulation competition at the University of Maryland College Park, and serving as president of Colleges Against Cancer at NCCU. I participated on the public and nonprofit management track. My paper was titled Graduate Education Preparing Students to Lead in the 21st Century. What I focused on was looking at the need to ensure that pre service MPA students graduate with the experience that they need to lead diverse organizations, and also looking at using software simulations and increasing meaningful internship experiences for students to help them develop a public administrator's toolbox of how to lead a diverse organization. Some things that you can do when you walk in the door, you have something in mind that you can try, or at least a starting point. This is a picture of me, my mentor, and the other fellows and their mentors. The NASPA student simulation. We use software to solve a healthcare issue, and I think this was probably the most fun I've ever had in any of the classes and seminars throughout my program here. I demonstrated my ability to work in a team, and this is a picture of me and two of my team members, and also following instructions, selecting policy options, and explaining the results. This software provided a safe place to test policy results, see how it affected people, to look at next steps, and not just to pick a policy action item, but also to be able to look at data and charts and explain what happened and why. As public administrators, we have to have the ability not just to select the best policy option, but we need to be able to make sure that we are able to communicate to the citizens what happened, why, and what the next steps are. This simulation was an awesome opportunity, and I'm hoping in the future in a PhD program to explore the use of simulations to increase MPA pre-service student readiness when they graduate. Colleges Against Cancer at NCCU. I was able to attract, recruit, and retain members, work outside of our department with other areas on campus to increase our successful events, doing event and project management, and also succession planning. All of the events that we completed this academic year have a detailed project plan that will be provided to the advisor for the next leadership team to use, so they're not reinventing the wheel. The picture in the middle is from our Real Men Wear Pink speaker event. The picture in the upper right and left are the football staff who joined us in partnership to make the Valentines for our Kiss Away Cancer event. The picture in the bottom right are some of the Valentines that were created. And the picture in the bottom left is our advisor, Dr. Patricia Wigfall, as she delivered the cards to the Duke Cancer Center so that the cards could be distributed to patients undergoing treatment. The Capstone Project. My capstone paper is an internship paper. The organization is the Duke Medicine Development and Alumni Affairs Office with the focus on the Grateful Patient Engagement Program. My paper was divided into these sections: the problem of practice, the problem analysis, and my recommendations. The basic problem of practice was that it appeared that ineffective contracting affected the database integration program. The problem analysis. The Grateful Patient Engagement Program had an Access database that was used to house records. The decision was made to move this to a web-based system using an outside contractor. However, the performance measurement and the way that that contract was drafted and implemented led to substandard data, a work stoppage that affected the output of the program, and the ability to make referrals to other areas. Some of my recommendations included using a bidding process for all IT projects in excess of $5,000, using performance-based contracts before the execution that have the goals and benchmarks tied to performance with the goal of minimizing risk, and also requiring a project management from Duke's IT department to be on board to manage these projects, because this individual would be loyal to the organization and also be aware of the security and technical needs. I feel that using these three items together would increase the chances of success, and also minimize organizational risk. Thank you for listening to me today, and I'll now take any questions that you have.